Welcome everybody, it's so good to see your face. Just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hope you're having a great time with your family and friends. We love you. We got an exciting one today. This one's gonna be super cool. Here's the concept. The concept is we got this amazing elite hand controller from Efoil. We're gonna take out a 5.4 standard setup lift Efoil from Efoil with a 28-inch mast with the shroud on it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna study the speed of the remote because we can see it actually going, and we're gonna try a variety of wings. We're gonna start with a 100 Surf V2. We're gonna go to a 160 Camber Pro. We're gonna test it against a 150 Surf V2, 210 Camber Pro, 150 High Aspect X, 220 High Aspect X. So the goal is to go from smallest to biggest, and we're gonna test them and see what their speed is to get up onto foil. We're gonna use the same back wing, the 36 Glide, on every single one of them, so it's all the same. Now, note, this test has a few little varieties to it, I guess is what I would say. First off, I weigh 157 pounds, so if you're bigger or smaller, it's gonna change the way these may work. But it's gonna give you a general idea on the lifting speed of these wings, and we're gonna go through small to big. So, 157 pounds, we're running a Lift 4, so the brand new battery from Efoil, but we're running the full battery, so it's the heavier battery. If you run lighter, it's gonna pop up sooner. Again, the 5.4 board and a 28-inch mast with the standard setup. This has a shroud on it, super important. And yeah, so join us. We're gonna find out how all these wings lift at what speed through the remote, and we can document it, and we're gonna learn a lot here. So join us as we go through all these wings and see what we find out. So let's do it. Okay, so we're at 3 miles an hour, 11 amps. So the goal is to figure out what all these fly at. So here we go. All right, we're good. So I'm on the 5.4. Obviously it floats me, so that's a good thing, makes it easier, right? We're gonna turn this direction. We're gonna go 2 runs at it, okay? So this is a 100 Surf V2, and we're gonna see what speed it takes for this puppy to fly. So here we go. We're gonna get over here. Right now I'm at 4. Six miles an hour, 8 miles an hour. It's trying, but it's not quite there. 9 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. I'm kind of trying to fly at 10, but looks like it's probably gonna be a little bit more. And we're flying, it's at 11. So I'd call that 11. I'm at about 11, 10, 11 amps is about 2.1 amps. Did I do that? 21 amps, sorry. We're gonna do that one more time. We're gonna go one more time. And we're gonna probably go about, here we go, we're about to 10. It's trying to take off 11, it kind of when it kicks. And it's about 28 amps, looks like when you're kind of fully off. And then it goes down to 21 when you're kind of cruising. We're gonna do that one more time, here we go. So we're gonna turn around. Man, kind of good lift, more than I thought it was gonna be for sure. Here we go. So, I'm on it, 7 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour. It's trying, but it just doesn't want to come up. 10, we're really close to going. 10, 11, I'd say about 10, 11, but it's about 10, 27 amps is what I'm pulling. And then obviously when you're kind of cruising, I can let off a little bit and it goes like 22, sort of. But yeah, we'll call it 10, minimal speed, done. That is a 100 Surf V2 with the 36 Glide. That's impressive. Okay, so 150 Surf V2 should, in theory, have a little more lift than the 100 Surf. Again, same tail, 36 Glide. And we're gonna see how many amps and what's the speed of what it flies at. So here we go again. We're gonna try to get same conditions, same everything. We're gonna do it all over again. I can feel a little more front foot lift. Okay, here we go. So we're at about 7 miles an hour. 6. It is flying at about, it's about 8. Let's say 8. We're looking at 8 miles an hour. We're doing about, when we're up, we're doing about 17 amps right now. Very little on the amps. And we're about 8, 9, and 17 amps cruising. So let's go do that again. So what we're really trying to learn is, what are the speeds? This is so cool about the Elite hand controller, is the fact that you can literally go and like study all this. It's so rad to see it visibly. All right, here we go. We're gonna turn around. We're gonna do this one more time. Okay, so I'm gonna get my speed going. Here we go. We're at, again, about 26, 25 amps. I'm about 7 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour. I'm gonna try to get her going. She's lifting, she's off around 8 miles an hour, and it's about 25 amps. So around 8 miles an hour, 8, 9 is the comfy speed with it, but definitely it's around 8 is the minimal. And once you're up riding, it's about 21 amps. But it's very similar on the amps to get up, so good to know. That's a 150 Surf V2. So this is a 160 Camber Pro. We're gonna go right over here and we're gonna turn and see what she goes up at. Here we go. So we're gonna turn, we're gonna go same direction, same conditions. I'm at about 8 right now, it's not flying. We're gonna go a little more. We're around 8, 9. We're around 9, 8, 9, it went off. Again, the amps are low when you're flying. We're around 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 8, 9. We're kind of around 20 amps, 18, 20. Let's do that again. That's impressive, people, it's impressive. I know I'm like right at the minimal, so you're gonna see me like kind of touching and going, like tapping a little bit. And the goal, I'm doing that, I'm trying to see the minimal, right? So it's easy to go fast and be on foil. Like right now we're at 11, we're drawing about 19 amps. And my goal is to see the minimal, right? So like right at takeoff, we're gonna just test them all out. All right, so here we go. We're gonna turn around, we're gonna do it one more time. Here we go. So nice and easy. Let's see if I can get her up. So she's not climbing, she's not climbing, she's trying, she's kind of climbing at 8. She's climbing at about, she's kind of climbing at about 8. It kind of needs 9. 210 Camber Pro 36 Glide. This is like the go-to. This is what everybody uses. This is the wing, best size. If anybody's looking to learn how, it's a great size for everybody. Here we go. Let's get that speed going. So we are at 6 miles an hour, 22 amps, 7 miles an hour, and I can fly. So I can kind of take off around, really easy around 8. So we'll call it 8 is minimal, but my amps are really low. Like I'm milking it right now, I'm just barely off. But we'll call it 7's up for sure. And then you're kind of around, when I'm up and cruising, let's get up and cruising. When I'm up and cruising, I'm like 17 amps. So 17 amps at cruising at around 8, we'll call it. So it's definitely easier to get up on, super stable. Do that one more time. So we're gonna make a turn here. All right, so let's get up to about, so we're at about 23 amps pushing right now. We're at about 7, 8 right now, and I can get it to come up. So let's get it right, a little more amps, and we are up, and that's 7, 8 right now. Now we're going a little more because trying to keep it going once it gets going. Amps are super low though. They're at 15, 16 right now, so my ride time can be huge. Average kind of 8, 9 miles an hour is the comfortable speed, but I'd say it gets up around 7, 8. 7, 8. 7's milking it for my size, but let's call it really easy at 8, really easy to cruise at 9. Amps are about 23, 24 to get up, similar to the others, but when you're up, like right now when I'm just cruising, we're at about 17, 13, so amps are really low. So that's a good thing. So obviously, just for everybody that's watching this, it's very buoyant for me, 157 pounds on a 5'4". I'm doing this because I want to see the minimal these things will fly and get kind of go off of like how high amps, how much amps, what my ride times could be, speeds, so on and so forth. All right, so we're at 15 amps, 3 miles an hour. Let's go through the test. Let's do it again. So this is a 150 high aspect X, lots of glide to this. Let's see what it does. So we're at 4 miles an hour. It's really trying to fly already, and it's already flying. We're at about 7. Definitely can kind of try to take off around 7. I would say we're at 6, 7, 22 amps. So it's around 7, 8. We're at about 7, and I can literally get it to fly right now, but it's nice to be at 8, and 8 will get up and cruise, and it's definitely faster. I'm covering more ground with the high aspect. It's liking 9. It's liking more 9, but we'll call it I got up at 8. Amps are at 15, pretty low. It's kind of like 7, 8, 9, but I would say it likes 8 or 9, but it's really efficient, really, really efficient. So I would say you're gonna cover a lot of distance with this wing, is what it felt like to me. The 210 was super stable, really solid. This feels like it's like, wants to go. 220. It's a big guy, super stable, nice glide, love it. We're gonna go out, we're gonna do the turn, we're gonna do exactly what we do. I feel like this wing should get up a little sooner, but I don't know. We're gonna find out. So it's already trying to lift at about 3, 5, 6. We're at 6. It's already flying. The big difference is the amps are super low. Amps are, right now, amps are at about 10 to 13, and we're at about 8 cruising, super mellow at 8 cruising. Get up is about 6, 7, I would say, but again, get up's about the same, but cruise is easy at 8. Let's do that again. So right now we're at about, easy pops up at, it's so cruisy at 7, it's so glidey, so stable, this wing, this 220, super stable, very, very stable. And the amp usage is very minimal, much less for sure, 13 amps. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it when I'm riding. Here we go. So we are at 6, 7, pop her up, 18 amps, 15 amps, 8 to 12 amps, 11 amps. I mean, minimal uses of power and flying, 8 and 12 amps. 8 miles an hour, 12 amps. That's incredible. That's minimal. Your ride time would be crazy. Let's see what amps it's going to take to get off. So it kind of takes about 17, 18 amps to get off, 16. Man, it doesn't take much. Much easier to get off the water with the 220. And you can ride around it like under 10 miles an hour, like no problem. This will be an energy saver. Your battery will be through the roof. Lots of ride time. Super stable at the 220. So we just finished testing all those wings for you guys. And I don't know, it got my brain spinning because the information is kind of wild to me. I just thought we'd see crazy huge differences, and we did, but the biggest thing I take away from it all is the 220 high aspect and the 150 high aspect, so the high aspect wings. I feel they're gonna pull less ampage, so your ride time could be longer. They're really efficient, so you'll probably cover even more ground with the high aspect from what I gathered. But what blew my mind the most was the 100 Surf could ride in, 10, like minimal speed. And it was so tiny, and yet its minimal speed's incredible because its upper end is through the roof. You can go so fast on the 100 Surf V2 versus, if I take this 220, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna just lift up, and it's just so much wing. So I was pretty impressed with the 100 Surf V2 on its low end, for sure. We thought speed was gonna be like significant, like here's the speed, way different. But really now it's almost like the amperage, the amp really changed. They all kind of were, in the smaller wings were around 25, probably for my size to get going. But as I got to these bigger wings, the amperage was less, like 18, which means my ride time is gonna be longer. So that was very interesting to me, but hopefully this helps you guys kind of give you a little bit of guidance in a direction of wings. We're gonna bring more to you guys, give you more, but if anything, best thing I can say is this Elite hand controller is rad because you can literally understand your amps, your distance, your speed. We hope you get out on the water. We hope you have a wonderful holiday. And to anybody that's been supporting us a long time, we really appreciate you guys. More than anything, love others, help others, give more this year than you've ever wanted to give, and don't give to get something in return. Just give because you want to give. And that's all I have to say for me today, but we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next video.